This is Taylor. He's a good buddy of mine. You guys have seen him on the channel where he repainted a pinball and we did the whole restoration. That video should be up by the time this airs. He got talking to me and basically has a gigantic collection of games that he's looking to sell, and I figured that we could do a pretty good deal. Probably pay him around the 60-70% margin because he has good items, and we're just going to do a little bit of a deep dive on some of the items that I'm going to be picking up.
I brought the Skylanders. I don't know if you even want them, but...
Are they the figures?
Yeah.
Oh, the figures are an absolute disaster to sell.
That's what I had a feeling.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with them, so I figured I'd bring them with just in case, but this game...
Oh, is this a triple one? Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
Track meet, yeah.
GameCube with the Game Boy player on the bottom.
My man, since this isn't a garage sale, I can call you out. Where's she been, dude? It's a little dusty.
I know. I got like 6 of them in my basement.
Box pretty
That's
cool.
the one I'm willing to part with right now.
Dude, you're bringing a lot more than I was anticipating here, so yeah, we'll run a deal. He's got a bunch of Nintendo games, as you guys are seeing here. DS, which is still technically Nintendo. I didn't even know Assassin's Creed was on the DS. That's funny. Everyone's gonna be reaming me a new one in the comments there, but... So the majority of the stuff that we were gonna make a deal on, which I'll do everything tonight with you, but he sent me photos of like a ton of GameCube games and a ton of Nintendo, as you're seeing here, so I can overlay the photos of what he sent. You guys will be getting more of the deep dive. Actually, oh yeah, he just had to whip it out right here too. This bad boy, it shocked me because I didn't recognize this title right off the bat because he sent me photos of everything as the spines. So when I was finally going through on price charting and looking it up, I didn't, like I said, recognize this right away, and this is a $700 game CIB. Unfortunately, he said it's missing the manual, but I think it still pushes like $400 to $500 even without the manual. I know it's probably gonna be impossible to like complete that unless you can find one on eBay, but that was a pretty cool one. And I see it here too. I think Frankenstein, which I thought was actually a cheapo game. I think this one pushes like 100 some bucks too, from what I was looking at, so. We'll deep dive more of this like back at the house and kind of a layout. I was just kind of showing you initially off the bat and then like the inside of the car. He's got piles of games, so it's gonna be a good buy. I think this actually might be one of the biggest buys on the channel. Just bring her inside, get it out of the rain. Yeah.
You wanna grab the box? I'll grab the stacks.
All right, we gotta set the GoPro down because I don't have it chest mount today, so we'll catch you guys inside. After about 20 minutes of price checking and negotiating, we came up with a grand total of $1,340, and I will show you what we picked up.
It's game time.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we have agreed upon. Have you ever seen so many GameCubes in your life? This was his entire collection that we ended up purchasing. There was some things in the agreement that I just did not grab, but everything you are seeing here, pure gold, we paid $1,340 for. Let's see where we're at when it comes to the profit and certain items that might be kept for the collection. And starting off with the GameCube, would you just look at the amount of titles? There's a handful of Black Label, Player's Choice. There's a lot of good ones in here. You might be reading the spine right now, but let's pull out a few that are noteworthy because there's a lot. Another one that I've never actually played, but I've heard a lot of very good things, and you would be surprised when you see the amount of cash that this is pushing. Player Choice Pikmin 2 for the GameCube, the best seller. And if we take a peek here, we did get a non-complete copy of Gotcha Force. But before you're completely discouraged, it does have the insert and it does have the disc. We are missing the manual. I am hoping I can get one of these on eBay for a decent price, because once you see how much this goes for when it's complete, you are about to need a change of pants, because this pushes about $700 CIB. Definitely a grail. Let me know if you guys have played this, or let alone do you guys have Gotcha Force in the collection. Some notable mentions coming into the titles is going to be Sonic Riders, Universal Studios, Hot Wheels, and the list goes on and on. You guys can just pause the video, read the titles off the spines, because there's a lot to get to and we gotta keep moving. Up next, you would be surprised. This one's pretty desirable on the PlayStation 2, and it's just as desirable on the GameCube. Simpsons Hit and Run Player's Choice. This bad boy pushes about a surprising $70 CIB. Another great notable title is BMX XXX. I've actually had this a few times and it pushes some cash, but what is inside is actually what is quite intriguing, because I've never found one that has the poster, so let's just take a look. As you can tell, it's CIB, but the poster. This is interesting. Let me know if this actually adds any value to the game having its poster, because I have not come across any with the authentic copy, or let alone just one in general, or if this should just be marked as a CIB game. Moving into the third and final stack of GameCube, we do have a player choice Super Mario Sunshine. This one's very iconic to the GameCube and a must-have in your collection. And kind of a neat little one here, we have the Action Replay DSi disc. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and you guys can correct me in the comments, this was supposed to be paired with the cartridge that actually goes into the DS, but if I'm wrong, please just correct me down below in the comments, because to be honest, I probably am wrong most of the time. But there it is. I believe it's only about 10 to 15 bucks just for that disc, and then Spy Hunter, nobody really cares about that. So I did forget to add, we had 3 loose discs for the GameCube. We got Looney Tunes, we got Day of Reckoning, and the big pusher right here is Mario Kart Double Dash. This bad boy pushes about $60 just as a loose disc. Stay on the lookout for that if you guys ever see this out in the wild. It could use a little bit of a resurface, but regardless, I got buddies who will take care of that for me. We will get this bad boy looking mint again. Another solid title right up next. I have never seen this one, was super tempted to keep it. I posted these up on Instagram, and actually this one seemed to be a pretty hot commodity. Dinotopia. If you guys have actually played this, let me know down below in the comments. I would be very intrigued. Starting off with 2 killer games that I used to have as a kid on the Game Boy, Super Monkey Ball 2 and Super Monkey Ball Adventure. One is player choice, one is Black Label. These are both complete, and they push some fat cash. And of course, if you're gonna have all of these GameCube games, you have to have a system. We got the standard, silver, or platinum edition. It was pretty dirty. I cleaned it up. It's not bad. We still have yet to test it, so let's hope this bad boy works. And let's be real, most of these do. They're pretty freaking tanky when it comes to that. And down below, it does have the Game Boy adapter, so that pushes about an extra 60 bucks. We will get this bad boy tested and working and be able to play some games again. And you all thought we had a fat stack when it came to the Nintendo GameCube. Wait until you get a taste of what the original NES has in store for us. And now we're getting into some odd games that I have never seen before until today. We have the Mutant Virus. This bad boy pushes some cash. This is a little bit of a bolo. If you guys have ever seen this title when you're out hunting, stay on the lookout. Pretty valuable. I'm kind of interested to see some gameplay on this and actually how it is. And one of the favorite characters of all time, we have the Legend of Zelda Gold Cart. This bad boy pushes about 30 to 40 bucks. And if you notice what's different compared to this versus any other regular cart, this is the 5-screw variant. Pushes a little bit more cash if you didn't know, so stay tuned and be on the lookout. If you have one of these in your collection or out in the wild, it fetches a little bit more money. Some notable mentions include the Super Mario Bros., Duck Hunt, and Track Meet Trio cartridge. This is a pretty classic, iconic game that everybody needs to own in their Nintendo collection. We still have more to get to, but one of the, if not best titles in the Nintendo pickup today, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be Frankenstein, the Monster Returns. This bad boy pushes a whopping $130. And one other thing that I like about it is you get these little video rental stickers that are plastered over the carts. For some reason, some people might not like that. I think it's pretty neat because it kind of shows the history of where this game was, and you know at one point in time it was a rental, and to see it in somebody's collection is pretty neat, especially when it's pushing $120. And you can't forget yourself a classic Super Mario Bros. 3. This is just the regular. If the Bros was on the left side, we would have a Left Bros variant, which pushes about $5 or $6 more than this standard copy right here. And once again, besides some of the heavy hitters that are laying down below, just take a quick peek at some of the spines here. This will be a better idea for you guys who are watching to kind of get an idea of all the Nintendo games that came in today's pickup. And finishing up here on the very last stretch, we have a bunch of Nintendo DS titles. Nothing super noticeable except for Assassin's Creed Discovery. This bad boy pushes about 20 bucks. Same thing with the loose carts. These are all going to be lotted up and sold in bulk, except for a loose copy of Super Mario Bros. 64 for the DS. This pushes about 20 bucks as well. Last but not least is our Nintendo Wii section. Most of these are pretty standard. There is a couple unique ones that we are going to point out regarding, and right off the bat here, Yu-Gi-Oh! Wheelie Breakers 5DS. I've never seen this title before. I believe it's only around $18. For some reason though, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is still pretty popular and it's pretty collectible. So if you guys have this in your collection, let me know down below. Otherwise, we have our standards in here like Wii Play. We got Sonic, Sega All-Star Racing, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, Ninja Turtles, Space Champs, Thrillville, you name it, most of them are filler, except one that did catch my eye was Valhalla Knights. I've never seen this before. Usually when you see RPGs, they push a pretty penny, but surprisingly, this was only about 15 bucks, but the artwork I think is absolutely insane. Have you guys played this game before? Overall, that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. We paid a whopping $1,340. Everything that was about $10 and up, I added into price charting, and we have a grand total of $2,410 on this pickup. We are on a little bit of a Sega side quest to go and pick up a lot that a lady offered me off of my In Search of ad. It is $220, a lot of complete in box games. Stay tuned, we do not see Sega out in the wild very often. Let's go pick this up. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. Oh, take a peek at them.
Sure.
Oh, this is pretty cool though, because you don't see the Sega stuff too often.
Right.
You guys don't have any other video game stuff at the house that you could think of though?
I have a Super Nintendo, but it's just the console. I don't
Oh, no games for it.
Oh, no.
As long as there's at least a couple in there, I'll trust your word on it. Alright, cool. And 220 for you. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20.
Sounds good. And
Appreciate
the
ya.
And all the,
Oh, and the manual for it? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Enjoy.
You too. Quick breakdown at the house. I thought this was absolutely hilarious that my cat decided to lay next to the game, so I had to get a quick shot. But this is pretty much kind of like an uncommon pickup. You don't really see a lot of Sega Genesis games out, at least I don't, especially complete in box. There's a few noticeable ones, like The Adventures of Mighty Max. This was a title that I never came across during my hunting career. Same with Tasmania. It's just kind of odd to see some of these Disney titles, but I think it's pretty cool. Regardless, Space Invaders 91 is one of those ones that will shock you. I will say this is a bolo. Pushes about 60 bucks, and I understand why people knock cardboard versus the hard cases, because look at this. I mean, it looks like somebody just sat down like it was a whoopee cushion and crushed the box. So regardless, I like the plastic cases a lot better, like this Quack Shot right here. It just makes them look more presentable, a lot nicer. There was a loose Genesis manual, which makes me kind of beg the question if they had the box laying around somewhere. This lot also came with the original 16-bit console. In total, we paid 220 bucks for everything that you were seeing here, and it has a value of 440, and that pretty much wraps up today's video. Thank you guys so much for joining me on the hunt. Subscribe if you are new. Stay tuned. New videos coming out weekly. I will catch you all in the next episode.